Another day, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about Paramount. Paramount came out, Paramount Skydance says it will pay Warner Brothers Discovery an extra $650 million per quarter if its WB Discovery takeover isn't completed by the end of 2026. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl ratings. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I didn't watch the halftime. It wasn't because I was boycotting anything or anything like that, but I saw the numbers and I was like, it doesn't seem real. And then the numbers came out. And a lot of times you look at stuff and it's just a lot of people just putting numbers out there because they have some sort of agenda, right? If it's defending something or trying to shit on something. So we're going to go over the numbers of what it is. And then we're going to watch a video to explain what the Nielsen ratings are, because a lot of people don't understand what the Nielsen's are and what the ratings do. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky has a new update. I posted in Discord a couple days ago, a little construction vest. I said people are losing their minds, and now they saw or told us what it is. It's No Man's Sky Remnant. So we're going to watch that and talk about what is updated in No Man's Sky. And if we have time, we'll talk about a couple of other stories this morning. How's it going, chap? Good morning. What's going on, Aku, Eclipse, Altern, Just Enough, Sarge, Jesse Mack, good morning. How's everyone doing? If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Give me 1 second. Excuse me. I had a sneeze coming. We do this Monday through Thursday, like I said, from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. You can also help us out by listening to our music that we played before the show. If you'd like to listen to more of those, we have like 36, 37, and I have another 18 that I'm going to be putting up there soon. So we have well over 50 songs that we've created, that I wrote, created with AI. And you can support that by either going to Spotify, streaming it, going to Apple Music and purchasing it if you want. It doesn't really matter. Listening to it, purchasing it, just hit the like button. It all helps out the channel. Appreciate it very much. All right, so let's start off with No Man's Sky, okay? Let's start off with No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is 10 years old today. Or not today. This year. Not today. I think it came out in like April or something like that. But 10 years, they've been updating this game. And the first 2 years was rough. The first 2 years, they had an exclusive with PlayStation. And it was on PC, but they had the marketing rights with PlayStation. We all know that story. We don't really need to talk about it anymore. And then for the last 8 years... okay, they've just been nonstop updating this game, constantly putting new stuff inside the thing. So we're gonna watch a little video here, talking about what the next update is. It's a minute long trailer to show you what's new, and then we'll go in the website and go little by little more in depth of it. Okay, so let's see what Sean Murray and the No Man's Sky team at Hello Games has to give us now for the next update for No Man's Sky.
Introducing No Man's Sky version 6.2. A new gravity gun allows players to uncover and salvage hazardous waste. Featuring new flatbeds, trucks, and haulers. Clean up the planet alone or join a salvage crew with friends. Carefully haul valuable salvage and dangerous waste across the planet with an array of new vehicle types. Explore dangerous worlds and salvage wrecks. Choose from flatbeds, incinerators, tank tracks, and spider legs. More will follow. Our journey continues.
More will follow. Like, how much stuff do they got to put? Let's go back here for a second. Look how many vehicles they have here. Right? We're gonna go like frame by frame, because they go. All right, so you got like a dump truck, or like a, I don't know what. Yeah, I guess that's like a dump truck, garbage truck. You got like a flatbed walker. Right? You got another. I guess you can make your own. It looks like you can convert them all and design what you want to make your trucks look like. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. Right, so now you can make your flatbeds in different ways. You can make your trucks in different ways. So it's like, Altern said this in Discord, it's like Roadcraft a little bit, right? It's like you're a construction simulator now with inside No Man's Sky itself, which is pretty crazy. I don't know why my chat's not updating. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't know why. I gotta break this out. Let me pop chat out over here because the chat's not updating on my software for some reason. It takes a little bit. So we're gonna look at regular chat over here. What's going on, Tarnish? All right. Let's see. Aku says to be a part of the 752 million active users on Spotify. You can also, Alter says, you can become a full-on trash worker here. Why they didn't do this at launch? Well, let's be honest, Jesse Mack. They didn't do this at launch because, well, that was 16 years ago. They worked on the game for 6 years, 7 years, launched, worked on it for 2 more years. So it was like either 8 to 9 years. And then they've been out for another 8 years. So they've technically been working on this game for 15 to 18 years as of right now, No Man's Sky. From the start of it to what it is today. One person's been working on this game for almost 20 years. Yeah, right? That's insane, right? Because it came out 10 years ago, right? It came out 10 years ago, and it worked on 16. So it's been 16 years since they've been working on this. Almost 2 decades they've been working on this game. Which is absolutely crazy. Why isn't this updating? Let's see. Chat combined. I don't know. There's always something going on with all this stuff. 16 years of no microtransactions and still Studio is alive. That is correct, Altern. That is 100% correct. Right? It's kind of nutty. It's kind of nutty that they... All right, let me get to... So let's go to the website here. All right, so Remnant introducing update 6.2. We'll make this nice and big for you guys to see it back in the back row. Update for no multi-tool, harness the power of gravity in update 6.2 Remnant. It says carry the launch stacks of industrial waste and transport the hull of the off-road Colossus deck out of vehicles with custom modules, technology, process salvage, join the community in a cross-country expedition, and much more. So is this saying that we polluted the planets and now we have to clean it up? Is that what this is saying? Okay. Reconfigure your Colossus. An array of different cabins, chassis, attachments, running gear, paint finishes allow you to kit out your vehicles in situation, design, save, and name a variety of Colossal's exocraft configurations suitable for range planetary adventures. So there you go. I didn't even have to go frame by frame. They were doing it already for me. Gravity coil. Manipulate gravity itself with new gravito coil attachment to the multi-tool. Repel, toss, transport, or range physical objects to harvest valuable resources through heavy-duty waste collection or simply for the joy of it. So you can, like, chuck stuff now with it. That's what it looks like. Cyclops scope. A new exocraft technology, the Cyclops scope, attaches to a driver analyst visor display, discovers alien fauna, flora, minerals, and also targets sweep for mission locations from the comfort of the driver's seat. There you go. Grab and launch objects. Seize on flinging a variety of items with the gravitational coil, creating your own physics playground. Toss a golden artifacts found on planetary ruins. Construct sphere creators in your base. Toy with an outpost. Grab and consume the combat supplies. Drop sentinel droids. That's cool. Industrial waste. Plants with salvageable scrap are now also laden with industrial waste. Described across the planet with small piles of large heaps. Gather the debris. Gravitational coil will turn the waste processing plant and cleanse planet's salvage materials and earn rewards. So you have like a little event going on as well. You got a flatbed module. Aspiring scrap hunters can also install tippable flatbeds on a Colossus exocraft for easy transportation, large hauls, electromagnetic containment field. I was wondering how that keeps it in there. I was like, how does it not fall out of there when you're going up and down the steep hills and stuff like that? So there's like a magnet inside the bed. That's funny. So now you can make, I could already see it happening, chat. Can you see it happening? What do you get from this picture right here? What do you think people are going to do on the internet right now? What do you think people are going to do? Right? They're going to make a giant garbage pile. It's going to look like Wall-E. They're just going to keep adding shit to it. 100%. What is that? Can you scrap that down? Community expedition. Join the community of a limited time expedition staged at Sands and Single Planet. Drive across country, strip the desert of dangerous industrial remnants. Off-road wheels. You can change the wheels to different things. No, Travis, the show just started. What do you think this is? We've been here for 12 minutes. You think I already went through all the stories? Come on now. Waste processing plants, a new type of facility. The waste processing plant is now established on scrap worlds. These industrial centuries offer opportunities to scrap hunters and extract materials and earn rewards of stripping plants and of industrial waste. Specialized in processing units, safety contained. So you got radioactive material and stuff. Heirloom customization set. You got a new outfit to pick from. Well, that's pretty cool looking. And remember, this is all free, right? This is all free. This is not anything else. All right. What else? New colossal cabins. Cabins. Switch the aesthetic of, the cabs in front. You can change them. All right. There you go. I kind of like that one. It's more industrial type of thing. You got very hazardable waste. You can blow up stuff now. Interesting. You got more paint cosmetics. Blade technology. Excavation. Augment the colossal exocraft with a new obstacle demolition attachment. This specialized technology allows the Colossus to collect a small number of resources from materials and vegetation upon collision and reduces the grime of scratches to the exocraft paintwork. Interesting. Okay. So you just plow over the land and collect the stuff. Exocraft mounted furnace. So you can just throw stuff in there. Earn a set of new player titles. You got a lot of stuff there. And you got Twitch rewards, obviously. So there you go. So if you have someone, go watch them play on Twitch. Name your custom outfits, walking vehicles. And a lot of stuff, man. And not only, but they also enhance the clouds. This is before, this is after. They've put more shading to it, like HDR type of stuff to it. Corvettes on the Switch. For the very first time, assemble your own colossal Corvette-class starship on the Nintendo Switch. Collect modules, design your dream ship, furnished interiors, create a flying home amongst the stars. So there you go. Now that's on the Switch. Not the Switch 2, but the Switch. I would assume it's on the Switch as well, or Switch 2 as well. So there you go. Lots of stuff for No Man's Sky. So if you were still drowning in the amount of stuff that you had for the last update, right? The last update of No Man's Sky, and you still haven't done all the other stuff in that one. Well, now you have more stuff to do in the next update for No Man's Sky. It's actually kind of funny. It's kind of funny. All right, hold on one second. I gotta reset my chat. I can't see you. I can't see you. It's not refreshing. So I gotta reload and see if it fixes it. There we go. The last thing I saw was when Jesse Mack said good morning, and the next thing is now Altern says so much to play already. Oh, so much to play already. Yeah. So there you go. And I saw a comment. In Twitter right? Because they showed this post, and someone was like, "Can you just give us Light No Fire already, please? Can you give us Light No Fire?" And I was just laughing because I was like, well, if you keep playing, and again, No Man's Sky is a very good game now. If you keep playing No Man's Sky, they're going to keep giving you stuff for No Man's Sky. And again, they're not charging you extra for this. There's 0 microtransactions for No Man's Sky. It's not like they're keeping it going because they're making more money off of microtransactions. No, they keep it going because they're just charging the normal price for the game. And someone's like, oh, cool, I'm going to play it now. Maybe someone was like, you know what, I was never interested in No Man's Sky, but now that it has garbage on the planets, they're like, I'm going to get it now, right? They pay their $40, pay their $30, whatever it is. Could be 60. I have no idea what it is anymore. I bought it 10 years ago. And now you can just do whatever. It's on Game Pass as well, right? So you don't even have to pay for it if you don't want to. You can just pay if you're on Game Pass, you can just play No Man's Sky. There's so much stuff in this game. It's overwhelming. What's going on, Kylo? I was barely getting up to the day with the previous 5 updates, and now we're at a new one. Right. It's like overwhelming, right? Eclipse says, when does 30 ever watch Diablo Showcase? I mean, damn. Think, man, think. We watched it 3 years ago when they were first showing it, and then we played the game, and then we stopped because I didn't care about the updates. Yeah, we watched 3 years ago. I think we might have watched the next one when the first DLC talking about it, but that was it. They were still fixing their game 2 years later, so. All right, let's go from No Man's Sky, and let's go to, is Water here? Water Bear, are you here yet? Because Water Bear asked me about the Nielsen's, and I found a video explaining what the Nielsen's is. Okay, maybe we'll do that. We'll do that next, or we won't do that next. We'll do the Paramount stuff next. Okay. Now, I know what the Nielsen box is, but a lot of people don't understand a lot of people don't understand how they figure it out or what the actual viewership is. No, I'm not going to show that, Jesse. I'm not going to show the Grogu stuff. You can go watch the shitty commercial, the Budweiser commercial. It's so bad. But we are going to talk about Paramount. Okay. Now, if you guys have been following this, we've been sort of following it, right? We've been sort of keeping up with what's going on. And right now, Netflix is winning, right? Netflix put their bid in. Paramount put their bid in. Paramount was more than Netflix, but yet they took the Netflix deal instead because we don't know what behind the scenes of like what it was per share or what they were giving it behind. And then Paramount, we heard, was doing a hostile takeover because they wanted to go straight to the shareholders. Well, first they said that Netflix was doing some weird shady things, right? Then they went hostile takeover, went to the shareholders. Shareholders still denied what Paramount was offering. Then there was news about Paramount trying to go to Trump to overturn this and with the regulatories and stuff like that. This is going to take the next year or so to get through. And Netflix still the winner right now. And then this happened yesterday, right? Paramount Skydance says it will pay Warner Brothers Discovery an extra $650 million per quarter if its WB Discovery takeover isn't completed by the end of 2026. Now, I know a lot of you are looking at this and go, who gives a shit, right? And you're right. Who does give a shit? Because we can't control this in any way, shape, or form. We're just sitting back, relaxing, and waiting for what's going to happen. Because it's either Netflix or Paramount's going to take it over. There's worse stuff for us in the future, because if Netflix gets it, then they're going to stop movies from going into theaters, and they're going to basically destroy the industry, right? If Paramount gets it, they're going to manipulate and stuff on the other end of the stuff. Paramount Skydance wants Warner Brothers not just for the IPs, but they want it for the cable television stuff for the news outlets. That's why they want this so bad, okay? Netflix wants it because they want IPs. And they also would like to do a shift change of what the industry elites were with old Hollywood to what new Hollywood is, right? So let's read a little bit here, shall we? If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We just cover news stories, have conversations. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I read the story for the first time on stream, give you my thoughts and opinions, and then we get your thoughts and opinions as well. All right, so Paramount Skydance says it will pay Warner Brothers Discovery an extra $650 million per quarter if WB Discovery takeover isn't completed at the end of 2026. So David Ellis, Paramount Skydance, is adding some additional financial promises to its hostile takeover bid for Warner Brothers Discovery as it continues to try to kill Netflix deal for Warner Brothers. Okay, Paramount on Tuesday said it will add an incremental cash consideration to Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders to 25 cents per share, equivalent to approximately $650 million cash each quarter. For every quarter, the preceded Paramount acquisition is not closed beyond December 31st, 2026. Now, obviously, it's every quarter after December 31st. So if it takes 2 quarters, which they think they'll get it done pretty fast once it goes through, once they commit to them and it goes past December 31st, 2026, it might not even be 1 quarter, right? It could get pushed through pretty fast, meaning that this deal of $650 million cash value for each quarter, they might only get another $650 million for that 1 quarter, and it might be done by then. But we'll see. Okay? It says the extra ticking fee reflects the confidence of Ellis and his team have with the Paramount Warner Brothers deal and have a smoother path of regulatory approval than Netflix merge of Warner Brothers Paramount. Okay? Have alleged that Netflix owns HBO Max. They also have virtual monopoly on the subscription service in the multiple markets. Netflix has dismissed this, claiming that even if HBO Max is a share to the U.S. TV viewing, would be 10% still behind YouTube, right? So YouTube is that entity that kind of gives Netflix, they can dismiss this like, well, we're still behind YouTube, so we're not a monopoly because YouTube still exists, right? It says, in addition, as part of Paramount's sweetened deal term, Warner Brothers Discovery Company said that it would also pay $2.8 billion breakup fee due to Netflix with termination of Netflix agreement if WB shareholders accept Paramount's $30 per share offer for Warner Brothers Discovery in its entirety. So not only the $650 million is not really anything, to be honest with you. The $2.8 billion, it's offering $2.8 billion to say, hey, if you agree with us, we'll do the breakup share thing for them. We'll give you $2.8 billion. Paramount also said it will eliminate WB's Discovery's potential $1.5 billion financial costs associated with the debt exchange offer by fully backstopping an exchange of offer the reveals of WB Discovery and its contractual bondholder obligations. Paramount said it will also fully reimburse WB Discovery shareholders for $1.5 billion fee without reducing a separate $5.8 billion reverse termination fee in the unlikely event that Paramount transaction is blocked by regulators. Paramount has also extended its expiration date to its tender offer with revised terms to March 2nd, 2026. It's expected to hold a special meeting of shareholders in late March or early April to vote for the Netflix deal. Okay, Warner Bros. Discovery said that the board would also review the new Paramount terms, but said that for now, it's not changing its recommendation that the shareholders are okay with the deal with Netflix, and Netflix declined to comment. There's something going on here. And I'm talking about, and again, this is my put my tinfoil hat on conspiracy theory type of thing. Somebody that has lots of money doesn't like what Hollywood's doing, right? They don't like what Hollywood's doing. They want new Hollywood, right? They don't like what Hollywood's doing. And again, this is my conspiracy. There's, how we always say there's people in charge. There's always people in charge. And you're like, who's that person that runs whatever, right? Whoever's running Hollywood and the people that are not at the top of Hollywood are now with Netflix. They put their hat in the ring with Netflix. And they're like, we could be the new Hollywood. So we could crush old Hollywood and be new Hollywood. Because the fact that Paramount's offering all of this, they really, 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 really want this bad. Okay? But yet they're like, no, we're still good with Netflix. We're still good with Netflix, and Netflix has yet to comment. Not that the new people that want to take down Hollywood don't want to be the new Hollywood. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to stop it because they disagree with it. They disagree with it because they don't run it. You understand what I'm saying? So whoever's running and doing this deal and wants this deal to go through with Netflix wants to control what the future is of media. Because right now, media controlled is controlled by the big, which was 5, now 4 companies. And Netflix wants to get in. And the people that want Netflix, they think long-term, they think they can do it and convert. And I think they're right. Okay. So Paramount sent a letter out to WB board of directors outlining the terms of enhanced offer. So far, WB's board have rejected Elson's overtures 8 times. 8 times. They said, no, we don't want it. And repeatedly said it will stick with Netflix's 27.75 share deal acquiring Warner Brothers Films TV studio HBO Max inked early December. David Ellis, chairman and CEO of Paramount, said that in a statement that additional benefits of our superior $30 per share all-cash offer clearly underscores how strong our strong and unwavering commitment to delivering a full value for WB Discovery. We're making a meaningful enhancement, backing offers with billions of dollars, providing shareholders with certainty and value, clear regulatory path, and protection against the market volatility. Right? Other promises Paramount Skydance is making. Amended takeover. Okay, if WB financial sources will not extend the maturity of the WB Discovery existing $15 billion bridge loan, Paramount's debt financing source a full prepared to do so, with the incremental cost covering by Paramount. Alternatively, Paramount will also will permit WB Discovery to structure permanent financing with any of its choices, as long as the debt is redeemable at the commercially reasonable cost. Paramount said it will also provide WB flexibility between signing and closing, including matching any comparable Netflix intermittent operating convenience. And then with respect to Discovery Global, Paramount said this is open discussion with WB Discovery Board of Directors, contractual solutions to account for a possibility of continuing degradatory financial performance beyond the WB Discovery and currently projecting for linear network business. Paramount immense offer will also enterprise value of about $108 billion is following financed by increased to $43.6 billion of equity commitments. Larry Ellison, Dave Tech billionaire father, Redbird Capital Partners, alongside with $54 billion in debt commits from Bank of America, Citigroup, and Apollo. Other backers of Paramount WB Discovery bid include the sovereign wealth funds of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. As with Paramount's December 22nd offer, Paramount's financing includes an irrevocable personal guarantee from Larry Ellis, $43.3 billion, which covers the equity finance of M&A offer as well, and any damages claimed against Paramount. Warner Brothers Discovery said it expects to spin off Discovery Global, which also comprise of CNN, TNT, TBS, Food Network, HGTV, and other cable nets, as well as Discovery Plus and other assets for the third quarter of 2026, prior to the Netflix deal close. WB Discovery has said that the target amount of net debt in Discovery Global is $17 billion as of June 30th and will decrease over time at $16.1 billion over December of 2026. Paramount claims that analysts show that if Discovery Global is spun off with a debt leverage in line with the Versant Media Group, the TV-centric entity separated earlier this year as Comcast, NBC Universal, the Netflix cash consideration would be reduced to $23.20 per share, assuming that both valuations multiple of leverage ratio in line. It says here 3.55 per share, resulting in a total value of 26.75 for Netflix deal, according to Paramount. That would also make Paramount's $30 share all-cash offer 12% higher than what WB Discovery shareholders get from Netflix transaction, Paramount claims. But if this is true, then why are they not going with Paramount? You see what I'm saying? So with Netflix deal, WB Discovery shareholders would also have equivalent of Discovery's global, whose business has declined, would also need support unrealistic debt loan for $17 billion and achieve high-end Netflix consideration range, of Paramount said. Also Tuesday, Paramount said it continues to make progress in regulatory clearance process. On February 9th, 2026, Paramount Skydance certified that it also has compiled with the Department of Justice, December 23rd, second request for information related to all cash tender offer purchase shares of Warner Brothers Discovery. So what does this mean? Like where are we going with this? You know what I mean? So the war between them, right? $108 billion is crazy, right? So WB cannot realistically compete in long-term mid-sized standalone company, right? Paramount likes woke things, I guess, but there's something off, right? There's something off about this whole thing. I truly believe, right? I truly believe there's what's it called? I truly believe there's something going on. What happened here? My Discord's freaking out. Paramount Skydance is they're trying so hard to get this deal. And it doesn't make sense to me why they're trying so hard. It's got to be for the news segment, right? It's got to be the consideration for CNN and CBS News. Because Ellis loves that type of stuff and he wants to run it. Right? Maybe the sports rights, but I don't really think that's a big thing. Right? Larry Ellis with the $43 billion on top of that, of his own money, it's got to be because he wants the news stuff. Let me see what you're saying. Star Trek is woke garbage currently. No one has also been fired, and spending hundreds of millions of dollars is also failing because of the fire wokey. They claim victim sue partner company or parent company. Yeah, I don't know. Here it says that Larry Ellis' $43 billion personal guarantee is huge, right? This isn't just a corporate maneuver, it says. This billionaire-backed strategic consideration. Silicon Valley money is directly underwriting Hollywood's consolidation. Here, I asked ChatGPT, right? I asked ChatGPT what it means. Right, so let's read what it says here. It says, Larry Ellis, 43, it says what it means for streaming. If Paramount wins, you see HBO Plus, Paramount Plus consolidation, massive franchise stacking, DC plus Mission Impossible, plus Game of Thrones, plus Star Trek, plus Harry Potter, plus Top Gun, likely layoffs and content trimming. But that's going to happen regardless. Regardless, that's going to happen. Okay, Netflix becomes unstoppable in prestige television. Okay, if Netflix wins. HBO library inside of Netflix ecosystem, which is huge. Okay, even more pressure on Disney and Amazon. And I think that right there is a big thing right there, right? If Paramount wins, Disney and Amazon are on cruise control because they're not worried. But if Netflix wins, Disney and Amazon are in trouble. Disney is in trouble. Disney could get purchased if they, like a couple years down the road. They could consolidate Disney because Disney's struggling. Right? Possible subscription price increase? Of course, that's going to happen. Of course, that's going to happen. Like, no shit. Right? Either way, consumers lose choice. Yeah, 100%. Studios gain leverage. Price likely to rise. Now, the cable fallout. It says WB Discovery still owns CNN, TNT, TBS, and Discovery Networks. Paramount owns CBS, Nickelodeon, MTV, and Showtime. Right? Now, if Paramount buys this, now Paramount owns CNN, TNT, TBS, Discovery, CBS, Nickelodeon, MTV, and Showtime. Remember, Showtime and HBO used to be competitors for decades. And now all of a sudden, Showtime and HBO are going to be the same. It says, if merged, expect aggressive bundling, potential cable spinoffs, or deliberate show death of linear TV to accelerate streaming margins. That's if Paramount wins. Right? That's if Paramount wins. It says, what does it mean for creators? For creators, which includes you also in the industry, you also comment on fewer buyers for big budget projects, higher franchise dependence, less experimental mid-budget content, bigger emphasis on global appeal, and this mid-budget adult drama, probably more endangered, IP-driven tentpoles, safer than ever. So why is this happening? It's the streaming economy aren't working the way that Wall Street expected. Subscribers' growth is slowing. Content costs are exploding. Debt is heavy. Profitability matters now. So the solution, consolidation. Fewer platforms, bigger libraries, less competition, and more pricing power. Well, I got a question. What about if they just let WB go? Nobody can buy it. It just collapsed. It just collapsed. And then all the brands, all the franchises and all the things, they just done. No more Harry Potter. No new Harry Potters. Right? None of that. CNN closes down. Goodbye, CNN. Goodbye, TNT. Like, see you later. Because if the other group buys them, they get an advantage, and then they screw everything up. But if no one can buy it, and no one can do anything with it, and it just goes bye-bye, it's almost like a house fire. You know what I mean? Oh, I know that won't happen. Big picture. It says the signals, the streaming gold rush phase is over. The consolidation era has begun, and the 10 tech billionaire phase of Hollywood ownership is accelerating. IP is becoming saturated at the top. Yeah. We're watching the creation of 3 to 4 super conglomerates that will dominate global entertainment for the next 20 years. The AI is saying this, by the way. Right? The AI is saying this, by the way. So it makes you wonder why Paramount wants, I mean, they're offering a lot more money. And the weird part is Netflix shareholders are still, well, the people, WB shareholders are like, no, we're still like the Netflix deal. So that means Netflix has told these shareholders, again, I'm speculating on all this. Netflix has told with confidence to these shareholders of WB where the future lies in streaming and what their plans are in the future, right? Where Paramount is an old relic. Disney, old relic, right? All of these old studios are old relics. They're the old. They don't represent the new. Netflix is the new. Netflix knows what's going to happen in the future because they're the leaders of it. And whatever they do, others have to follow, which they've done already. Netflix leapfrogged all of them, hence why Peacock or NBC, CBS, Disney, they all got their own streaming services because they had to compete with Netflix. But they can't make enough money now because their budgets, and they refuse to lower the budgets for some reason. Think about that for a second. They refuse to lower the budgets of their television programs, their movies. Why? Where are they putting that extra money? They're not putting it in the production, I'll tell you that. Productions look shittier now than they've ever done before. Storytelling is shittier now than it's ever been told before. The movies are making less money now than they've ever done before. They're all, majority are losing money. The problem before, back then, I've told this example all the time. 10 films are made by a studio, 7 lose money. What's happening now is 9 lose money, 1 makes money. But the one making money is not making enough money to cover the 9. That's what I think is happening now. They refuse to lower the budgets. Video game companies doing the same thing. And remember, video game companies are about 10 to 12 years behind the movie industry and the music industry. So what's happening right now with the movie industry is going to happen with the gaming industry in about 10 years. Maybe it's faster, 7. Jack says, regarding Netflix and the theater release movies, could also they run into the same issue with the pandemic where actors didn't have streaming in their contracts. And I think we're past that, Jax, because of what happened back then. Their contracts are readjusted now because they learned back before. I don't think they're going to make the same mistakes. Hence why they went on strike. Hence why they try to do different contract negotiations. Hence why they got their likenesses and stuff. Sarge says, if you offer more money and then you know their long-term payout is much higher, otherwise they wouldn't offer that much. Right, but then why are the shareholders not saying, yeah, we'll take that deal?
Netflix is the media version of Ms. Paramount is like Sony. Either pivot your approach or get bought/die.
Right, Aku. Thank you very much for the $5. Right? Netflix is the media version of Microsoft. Paramount is like Sony, and either pivot your approach or get bought and die. They have to adapt. And the problem is, I don't think Paramount's going to adapt. Paramount's trying to buy it so they have the majority of the IPs, some of the biggest IPs on the planet. And if they have the biggest IPs on the planet and they also own CNN and TNT and TBS, then they can try to hold on as far as they can, or as long as they can, to the old, antiquated, old school way of the studios. That's what they're trying to do. It makes no sense. Roic says, just have a garage sale on the IPs, not let it die afterwards. That's also smart. Have WB die, and then have them purchase each individual IPs instead of the whole thing. That way you distribute the wealth of this company. This company's dead. WB Discovery is dead. It's been sold off twice in the last 3 fucking years. Okay? It's dead. Sell off the IPs, and everybody can have different IPs. So not everyone makes the same IP. Not everyone owns the one IP, like all of them under one umbrella. Think like a corporo, bro. Why would you not lower the budget? What are your options? They don't lower the budget, Sarge, I think because they want to pocket more money. None of these studios are taking money from anybody. They're taking money from everybody. Sorry. They're not putting their own money up. August says this is why these shows never completely finish anymore. So many shows canceled after 1 to 3 seasons despite being good shows, not just profitable enough or how they are also spending. Right. Because they're taking these shows and putting them on a streaming service, and the streaming service is not bringing in more money than what they did for the advertisers. They used to get the money for subscriptions or from the subscriptions. They used to get the money from the pay-per-view stuff. They used to get the money from the after sales and DVDs. They used to get all that stuff. Now they're missing all of that, and now they're just getting the streaming service, which is not covering enough. Turner says, me and Aku had the same vision there. Argus, Microsoft could easily afford to buy Sony. It's only worth $40 billion, more than Activision. Yeah, but they won't allow that because that's bad for, the industry. With that logic, any 100 plus billion or less will die. And my thing is, if a company can't make it, then they should die. You shouldn't bail anybody out. You make a business, and if the business fails, it fails. If those IPs, if the company's dead, so WB dies, WB Discovery dies, and then what happens is they sell off the IPs. But you can't buy all the IPs. One company can't buy all the IPs. They have to find other buyers to buy these IPs. But they won't do that. They'll just keep consolidating until we have idiocracy, where we have, Costco that runs the entire world, or Amazon, or Disney, or Microsoft, or Facebook. Jesse Max says Spider-Man is the golden key for Marvel right now and still making more than the new movies coming out. Ray says, what blackmail material do these game directors have to be able to create those bad, overpriced games and movies? I don't know. I mean, look at Kathleen Kennedy, what she did to Star Wars brand. Yeah, Sony won't sell themselves after the FTC would have allowed it, but Microsoft can certainly afford it. Oh, sure, they can afford a lot of things, but there has to be rules in the thing, right? Honestly, if let's say Sony at the point nobody wants to buy Sony. The only people that can buy Sony is Microsoft, well then Sony needs to close. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Microsoft shouldn't be able to buy that. The IP is nothing. They're just done. Aku says 30. We need to be more like Kylo Ren. Let it die. Ray says, in a perfect world, Steam and Costco have a monopoly. That's it. That's it. Tarner says, Sony's been kind of just coasting by since the 90s. No real innovation over there. Not like the heyday, at least. I don't know if they've been coasting by Tarnish. They have a couple of things they've been doing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, look at what happened to Overwatch. Overwatch was the top, so why do anything, right? Sony at a point was, whatever you want to talk about Sony, you can go back and look at their console sales. They're the top. They can coast. They don't have to do innovative things. They can just sit there because that's what's happening. No, I understand that wasn't towards me, Krebsy, but what I'm saying is I don't like consolidation. Like I hate that we had to save the banks and save the car companies back in the day, right? Instead of having someone make a new car company, right, which Elon did, right? Instead of, right, they save all of these things because there's so much corruption with inside these organizations, they can't let them go. They have to do it. Right? Hollywood is corrupt. I'm not even talking about the island stuff. I'm talking about Hollywood is corrupt. There's so much money being hand-fisted into their pockets of stuff, okay? And products and productions are going higher and higher in price. And here comes Netflix, undercutting, keeping budgets, and their budgets are getting out of control, okay? Where if Netflix can get a hold of WB, that's a lot of IPs, man. They don't need to go out anymore. They don't need to buy IPs for anybody anymore to rent them to put on their own service. They now own the biggest catalog of IPs. We are all Kylo Ren on the internet. More. Yeah, just we're obsessed with it. Argus says, yeah, I think Sony and Nintendo are technically protected by Japanese law, although it's desperate times. I'm sure it could change. The only way that you have to get like sponsorship and to purchase their stuff like that. If Microsoft bought out Sony, all of the movies and Marvel games will come to Xbox, right? I mean, in that world, yes. But look at what happened to Disney when they bought Marvel and Star Wars. We got two of the biggest franchises on planet Earth, and they fucked them up. And they're all on Disney Plus. Mr. Z says, even actors can't seem to survive unless they get 10 to 20 million per movie. Crazy. Did you guys see this? Hold on. Watch this. I shared this with Sarge yesterday through Star Wars Theory, but I found the actual video. Was it? Okay. This is 1 day ago. Okay, this is 1 day ago. This is Duel of the Fates. Okay. This is the script. Now, a person's working on this because the script leaked. This is basically what episode 9 was supposed to be. Okay. You're talking about actors and whatnot, Z, right? So this is Colin Trevorrow's, okay, what his vision was for episode 9. Now, somebody took the script and they're starting to make AI versions of what his script was supposed to be. Okay, we're not going to watch this entire thing. If you guys want to go watch it, I'll put the link in the description and you guys can go watch it a little bit. But I just want to show you, right? You're talking about actors don't know how to survive. Well, I'm not going to do the sound, right? That is Adam Driver. That's Adam Driver. Okay? It's crazy what they've done. This is not filmed. This is AI. This is AI created, and someone took and made an 8-minute long trailer. Movie, short film, okay? They got Mark Hamill. The lip syncing of this is getting crazy good. It's still off. There's still a couple things off. But the fact that he can just get royalties, basically. Let's just say, because Disney is doubling down, tripling down with this, because they said they're going to be putting AI content on Disney Plus, right? So if they could pay Mark Hamill for his likeness, like George Lucas did with the toy sales, okay, they don't ever have to act again. Zero acting. Just use my face, collect check. Like, look at this. Here, I'll put the sound on so you can hear.
Your path lead. You're a ghost.
I know what you're searching for, Ben.
Right? The lips are still off. But bro, we're getting the Star Wars that we should have gotten made by a fan using AI. Right? So now you look at, right? There's the Emperor. Again, this is AI. This is not video footage taken from films and brought in. This is made with the AI. Rey's face is a little off. They even got her voice a little good, right?
Was changed.
You saw the future.
Kylo saw it too.
They're in trouble. Actors are in trouble. The industry is in trouble. As a customer, let's say Disney makes the next Star Wars movie and it's all AI, but it's a fucking amazing. Okay? Let's just say it comes out 5 years from now and they release the movies, but they're all AI. You don't know they're AI. You watch it, you enjoy it, you look at it and go, holy shit, these are the movies we should have gotten. Then you're like, hey, guess what? That was made with AI. That was made by 5 people over 3 weeks. They refused to lower the budget. Okay? Welcome to the new age of writers. Good writers. Yes, please. Yeah. They just took his script and they're turning it into an actual movie, right? Or fan film, whatever now. So if you see a good movie, regardless if it's AI or not, the companies and the studios are looking at this going, well, how do we get these people? Of course they don't want to pay me to be the camera guy. Of course they don't want to pay the director to be the thing. When they could just go Star Wars Episode 9 and someone comes in, someone writes a script, okay? An actual person writes a script and they just type it into the prompts. First scene, Rey lightsaber fight with Kylo Ren. Boom. Makes the scene. Puts it in. Done. Tarnish says, let's go a little further. What's stopping Hollywood from revisiting old films like this, tweaking plot points here and there, interesting new characters, etc.? Nothing. Nothing is stopping this, Tarnish. That's what I'm saying. They could literally just go back and do whatever they want for minimalistic price, but they're still going to charge the same. But the budgets of the movies will be down because they're doing less, because there's no production. There's no set design. There's no crew of 100 people. There's no crew of 1,000 people. There's no location scouts. There's no putting people up in a hotel. There's no feeding anybody, right? If they could make a movie, and let's just say they spent $1 million making the AI version of this, you as a customer, do you give a shit how much they spent on the movie? No. All you care about is the movie good. That's it. Argus says AI could Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, and it starts the original actors around long past the deaths with no one needed aging. Correct. Welcome to the new age of propaganda films. All films have been propagandaed for decades. Just Enough says budgets should be down, but will they? No, they will. But they're still going to charge you full price for that subscription service. They're still going to charge you $25 to go to the movies. That price is never going down. Here's what you want to know the baller move. Are you ready for this baller move that should happen? I know we all depend on Elon Musk, and Elon Musk could turn on us, and all of us would be like, "What the fuck?" Elon Musk, because he has stupid money, right? Or some other billionaire that comes along, buys Star Wars, or buys Star Trek, or buys Lord of the Rings, and then just says it's open to everybody. Use my AI program, make the Lord of the Rings that you want to make. Nobody owns Lord of the Rings. Nobody owns Star Wars anymore. It is what it is. He owns it, and he just says, make what you want. The entire movie industry would collapse. Collapse. Because just like we showed yesterday of a guy took an hour and a half to make a Pokemon clone in a small little version of Pokemon, like Game Boy style, okay? Every kid, every person can make their own video game and play that video game. Every person on planet Earth can be their own director, right? Put their stuff out there, and then you just have to sift through this shit. It's like going through Netflix right now. Just scrolling. The media market is going to explode with content to consume when it gets good enough. It's already doing that. There's so much content to consume, we don't have enough time to consume it. New jobs will be prompt writers. That's a new job, prompt writers. Roic says, thanks to the AI, you can also do a series like Stranger Things without the actors looking like they went from 12 to 21 in 5 years timeline. Yeah, exactly. Aku says, 30, people need to realize that we are in the propaganda war, not just a political, but also a media and gaming. And the media likes to lie to us and tell us this is what we want. Or your insert, ism there. Exactly right. It would be a Battlefield portal. Good stuff, but you can't find it. That's what it is right now. Let's be honest. There's so much content between Peacock, Hulu, Roku, Tulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, right? ESPN. There's so much content on all these things that you can't watch it all. You can't look through it all. It takes you 45 minutes to find something, unless it's in the top 10. You're like, oh, that's new, and you click it. If you're looking for something, you're never going to find it. Jesse Max is like an open domain with Star Wars. Yes, please. Just think about that. A billionaire comes along and says, I bought the Star Wars IP, and he comes out and says, you can make any Star Wars thing that you want using my Gronk AI program. Have fun. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about monetizing because he's monetizing the program that you're making the content on, not the movie itself. And the more people that make the stuff, the more people stay on that platform and they watch that stuff. Krebs says, good universe have characters. Great universes have rules, depth, meaning. Star Wars used to be great, but now it's just good. The rules of Star Wars keeps getting changed, overlooked, etc. Yeah, that's because of Disney. Disney didn't know how the fuck to do with themselves. Taking things in light speed through ships and whatnot. Jedis used to be just like monks, basically. Now they're like, I got to jump far, so I jump far. I've got to block bullets, so I block bullets. I can stop bullets, right? Whatever the plot point is, they can just do now. Mando and had hope until they also shoved Luke into it. Luke was the last hope when they put it in. It was the highest rated thing that they've done with Mando. And then they went off the deep end and put Jack Black and Lizzo. Yeah. Season 2 ended with Luke Skywalker. Season 3 ended with Lizzo. Right? Star Wars used to be like all the Jedi were dead except Obi-Wan and Yoda. And Luke Skywalker was being trained by Obi-Wan and had to find the other one, and he was the last Jedi. But now there's like, you pick up a piece of, you're like, oh, are you a Jedi? Hey, there's another Jedi. Oh, there's a Jedi in the bar. There's a Jedi over here. There's 15,000 Jedis alive. And you're like, I thought they all died. Ray says Star Wars could have finally been for everyone. We can have make a faction, the edgy Sith, the weird goody two-shoes Siths who also like lightning, flexible Jedi monks, and even weirder gray Jedi fans. Are you really a monk if you can't stop bullets? It's true. It's true. Or get kicked in the nuts, right? Mando season 3 was so bad I didn't even finish. I think I watched the first episode. I think I watched the first episode, first 2 episodes, and I stopped. Sadly, not all of them are as cool as Cal Kestis. Yeah, it's fine to have the games that you like and stuff, but it literally, every time they come out with a new game or a new character, at least say what you want, but at least Outlaws. What was the name of the girl? I don't even know what the girl's name. Kay Vess, right? At least Kay Vess didn't like destroy the Star Wars universe. All of these other characters destroy the universe after Episode 3, where all the Jedi were executed. But yet there's so many fucking Jedi out there. Technically, where Jedi takes place, 10 years after? Cal Kestis' character is like 10 years after, 8 years after. You see him like escape. Technically, he should die before we get to the thing. No, he's still alive. Ahsoka's still alive. Right? They keep multiplying. Don't forget the one time a Jedi speed ran to Phantom Menace. That wasn't Disney. No, I get you, Jay. What I'm saying is they could just do whatever they want. The original, I understand it does what he wants, right? The fight scenes in the prequels are much better than Episode 4, where they're like, right? I get it. Some of it is because of technology and whatnot. But it still doesn't change the fact that they completely did. Jedi were one way before, but then they became these plot point type of things. Oh, I can't make it up there. Oh, I can jump 30 feet, right? I can leap from tall buildings. I can do this. I can control the mind of people. I can stop lasers, right? It's just plot point stuff now. It's like plot armor. It's what it is. Feels Good says these Disney Star Wars shows are mostly TV junk food. Her name is not Han. Everybody's still alive and nobody's showing up in the New Hope. Right. Right? It's cool to think, right? Take the episodes 1, 2, and 3 out of there, right? They didn't exist. You watched episode 4, New Hope. He meets Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Ben at the time. He says, "You knew my father?" "I did. I fought with your father in the Clone Wars." And as a kid or as a teen or a young adult at that time, you're watching going, what the fuck are the Clone Wars? Right? Like, the imagination in your head was like, oh my God, he fought with his father. Who's his father? We didn't know he was Darth Vader. Nobody knew he was Darth Vader. Okay? So like, fought with your father in the Clone Wars. And you're like, what the fuck are the Clone Wars? That'd be cool to see. Right? And then decades later, they show you the Clone Wars, and you're like, that's fucking cool, right? Because you're established the character, and you're like, oh, cool, we get to follow these characters back when they were younger. Cool. Right? Cool that they introduced Ahsoka. And Ahsoka came in, and she's one of the best written characters, even if it's in a cartoon, Her plot of being annoying and then growing up to be cool and then leaving the Jedi to become a, gray Jedi, okay? Or leaving the Jedi, organization completely. But she should die. She should have died. She shouldn't have continued on. Because you're like, well, where was she? Where is she during New Hope when all of this is going on? Where were they? A bunch of pussies just hiding out. Like the world's about to, the universe is about to end from the Empire. And Luke, the guy who just learned to be a Jedi, and there's all these other Jedis, and they didn't come out to help him? Like, what the fuck? Every time they introduce somebody and they're still alive during that time frame, it diminishes what the originals were. And then they come back. Then they come back 30 years after, and they all join up on Rey. I am all the Jedi. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. They didn't help Luke. They didn't like Luke. Rey. It's like that. It's like those that meme with what's his name? Dre? No. Yeah, is that his name? Where he's like, yeah, Luke, you put a picture next to me over here, Luke. Right? Rey, you're like, yeah, get out of here. They didn't show up for fucking 40 years. It's hard to explain it away, but Vader eventually catches up with him. Yeah. He's supposed to be the baddest ass person, meaning he literally obliterated, hunted down. You could have a whole series of him hunting down the Jedi for the 18 years. And yet they show a story about him scared of sand and fire. It's absurd. I'm going to go down a rabbit hole here. Ray says, Star Wars is bad when Trooper FN 2199 has a better skill than the whole the sequel trilogy cast combined. For a split second, Ray, a split second, Ray, right? When they first showed the trailer for Force Awakens, all of us were a little excited. We saw a black stormtrooper, right? And we're like, oh, this is different, right? We were like, where's this going to go? And then they just fucking destroyed it. They just destroyed it. We're like, oh, that seems interesting. And they're like, who's Finn now? So, what's going on, Titan? All right. Let's go on to the next topic, okay? I have nothing. I don't have an agenda, right? I want to talk about the Super Bowl numbers, okay? The Super Bowl numbers, I have literally no agenda here. I'm just reporting on it as it is. Now, there's this tweet that went out, okay? There's this tweet that went out and showed the numbers, right? It showed all the Super Bowl stuff. Now, I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I didn't watch the halftime show. I didn't give two shits about any of it. Not because I was boycotting it, not because of anything of the sort. Just didn't want to watch it. That was it. Just didn't want to watch the Super Bowl. Okay? I didn't watch the other halftime show that was going on. I didn't see any of it. Okay? I was watching Murders in the Building with my wife. That's what we were watching. Okay? They show this number and they say, 123.4 million, 133.5 million, 135.4 million. It's the best Super Bowl, most viewed Super Bowl, best halftime show ever. Okay. And then things start to come out. Samba TV US household Super Bowl LX halftime show viewership declined by double digits. Okay. Again, I have I'm not one way or the other. I don't care. I'm just reporting this because I want to show you that people lie all the time because they have an agenda. And the reason that the people posted this is the in your face to the chuds moment, right? This is the Jason Schreier in your face chuds, okay? Where they say 135.4 million people watched this and this is what it was. They didn't post it because they were showing you the actual numbers. They were showing you because that's what it was, okay? Super Bowl, If you guys like what I do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay? Again, I don't give a shit what the viewership was or not. I just want to prove to you that the numbers that they show are disingenuous. They do it because they have an agenda to push. Okay, Super Bowl LX is a controversial halftime show featuring Puerto Rican performer Bad Bunny. I'll be honest with you, I had no idea who Bad Bunny was. I didn't know Bad Bunny was in Happy Gilmore 2. I didn't know that was his name for the actor. I was like, I don't know who that is. Okay, in Spanish may not have totally resonated with viewers. New data from Samba TV found that 13% fewer U.S. households watched the Seattle Seahawks defeat the New England Patriots 29-13. In total, 48.6 million households watched the game compared to 55.9 million homes that watched the Philadelphia Eagles defeat the reigning Super Bowl champs Kansas City Chiefs 40-22 in 2025. Now, if that's the case, right? 48.6 million households compared to 55.9 million households, but yet there was more viewers that watched this one. Okay? 4 per home, whatever, right? Saba said 26.5 million households watched the Bad Bunny show, down 39% from 43.4 million homes that watched into Kendrick Lamar's performance during 2025's halftime show. Now, I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I didn't watch the Super Bowl for the first time in my entire life. Okay? I didn't watch the halftime show for the first time in my entire life. I wasn't the only one. I know lots of people that did not watch the Super Bowl, that did not watch, okay, the halftime show. But yet the numbers that these people say here is the most watched one. And I just looked at it and said, you know that smell test that I always talk about? Remember when Miss Marvel was in, or Captain Marvel was in theaters, and they said it sold out, and they're packed out theaters, but you went to the theater? I went to the theater. I showed proof of my theater, and there was nobody in my theater. This is not me taking a stance of going, trying to make something up. I took it before everyone got there. No, there was no one in my theater. 150 seats. There was 20 people. My whole row was empty. Opening day. This wasn't like hidden. Wasn't on a Monday at noon. Okay. Opening weekend. Went to the thing. Row empty. Okay. But yet they told you that Captain Marvel sold the most ever. Okay. So, do they go continue here? No. Okay. Then we have the Nielsen. Okay. Now, Super Bowl XL delivers 124.9 million viewers. 137.4 million viewers. Okay. But Nielsen says they have 124.9. That's a big fucking difference. Right? That's a big fucking difference. That's 11 million more people that you just kind of just tacked on. Okay. It says an estimated 124.9 million viewers watched the Super Bowl on Sunday, February 8th, according to Nielsen's Big Data panel measurements and NBC presentation of Super Bowl ranks as the second most watched Super Bowl in history behind the 127.7 million, which was 2025. Now, if you go back to this, 133.5 million, right? Well, Nielsen says it was 127.7 million viewers for last year, but for some reason we have 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. We have an additional 6 million viewers that were just added to this chart here to prop this number up, right? Oh, we just this year beat this number, okay? But yet 127.7 and 124.9. So this that goes out on Twitter that everyone shares and says that this is it, and then in your face chuds is completely wrong because it barely beat the 2024 version of the Super Bowl. Okay. It's the Super Bowl aired from 6:40 to 10:28. NBC, Peacock, Telemundo, NBC, Sports Digital, and NFL Plus. Enough channels. Okay. It drew a combined average household of 39.4 and combined household of 79. The halftime show featuring Bad Bunny averaged 128.2 million viewers between 8:15 and 8:30. Okay, across the entire telecast, peaked at 137.8 million viewers during a second quarter, which was before the actual the halftime show. Okay, now let's go back to here. This says 135.4 million, right? Peak viewership at the peak was 137.8 million viewers during the second quarter, between 7:45 and 8 p.m. People tuning in, seeing what's going on, right? So again, I don't give a shit of what it is, right? Now, I did have, where did I have it? I had a thing opened up where it showed me the viewership. Let me see if I... Yeah. Nope, that's not it. Ratings history. Oh, it is it. This is it. So right here, we go down and look at the actual numbers for what it is. Right? The Super Bowl is at 124 total viewers. Okay, 124 million. Last year was 127. The year before was 123. Now, I just want to, once again, I just want to go back to this chat, right? If we go back here and look at 2022's numbers, 101 million. Okay, so let's go back to 2021, 96 million, right? 96 million. Then you go back here and go to 2022, right? I'm sorry, 95, right? 96, just 1 million off, just less than a million off. Okay. Then we go to 2022, 101.4, 103, right? Off by 1.5 million. Right. Then you go to 23, 115 million, right? 121 million. Now we're getting up higher again, right? They're fluctuating the numbers. Then we go to 2025, 127. 133. And then we have the last one, which is 124, and yet they have 135.4. To show this again, people have agendas. They don't want to tell you what's real. They just have an agenda to push to say, well, if you don't like the halftime show, well, you're racist. Because it was the best halftime show in the world. Okay? It was the most viewed Super Bowl ever. But it wasn't. Right? And this is what I have a problem with. People try to push stuff, and then they spread it, and it spreads like wildfire. Right? It spreads it around as this is it, and what you think now is absolutely garbage. Okay? The tweet is from, just enough, the tweet is from I believe a fan of Bad Bunny is who tweeted this out. Okay, so they photoshopped and put it together and did all of this. Now, obviously, did they do it like right after? Probably not. They probably just took the numbers and just ran with it and put it out there and then made a nice little graphic here and whatnot, right? And this spreads because this is off their site, and then it spreads to another site, and that's seen 1 million times, that's seen 20 million times, and that's seen, right? And it just goes down the rabbit hole of people just don't, like, you can see it. You can hear it. You can look. And when someone says, oh, it's a packed out show, and you walk up to the show and you can move, you can walk, you can see empty seats. And when they tell you it's a sold out show, okay, you're like, all right, well, it doesn't look like a sold out show, right? When they tell you people really enjoyed the show, and again, I didn't watch it. I saw clips of it. Nobody's dancing in the stands. Nobody gives a shit in the actual stands that were watching the actual show. It doesn't make sense when you tell me it's the most beloved halftime show and it was the most viewed halftime show, and then the numbers come out and it contradicts exactly what you said. Fucking 12 million difference. Okay? 12 million. It's ridiculous. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. Did you like the show? Didn't you like the show? Did you enjoy the Super Bowl? Okay? Do you really give a shit about the viewers? I don't. But I do care about people fucking gaslighting people because they didn't watch it or they said that they're liars because of numbers. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. User says, I wish it was Bugs Bunny. MLB, the World Series 2026 has beats out the park out of the NFL and Super Bowl this year, hands down. Crowd says, I'd watch Bugs Bunny all day. I think you can. I forget what fucking streaming service is on. JD Kent says, do they separate worldwide numbers from U.S. households? No, the numbers are the numbers. That's what we want to watch. Let's watch this, shall we? Let's go to the Nielsen's. Okay, this is the Nielsen's How Shit Works Nielsen TV ratings. It's a 3-minute video. Let's watch it, shall we? Let's learn something today.
A lot of people wonder about how Nielsen does the TV ratings. It really all starts with a simple concept of a sample. We start with the census, and we create what we call an area probability sample of the total U.S. And it's based on everything from geography to ethnicity to race to cable status, a lot of different things that really impact how people view television. One of the questions that we get all the time is, how come I've never been asked to be a Nielsen family? And the other question we get a lot is, can I apply to be a Nielsen family? How do I get membership to that club? Well, the implication is of having a sample is it has to be very stringently controlled, and because it's a random sample, and we have.
So not everybody is part of the Nielsen box. Okay, what they do is they take a household, they make sure what the group that they're picking, it's a very specific group, and it's a small group, and then they just times it. It's like taking a survey. We surveyed 1,000 people, and then they tell you an article, and they say 79% of the population of planet Earth thinks this way, because they sampled it with 1,000 people.
To have it be completely representative.
But then there's another asset that they do, okay? And they keep track of all the stuff inside of all these electronic boxes.
Can't have people volunteering. Once you accept membership into the Nielsen sample, we do a couple of things. We come in, we collect all the information that we need to classify your home against, and then we install the meters. Right now, we're at about 46,000 homes.
Did you hear what he said? 46,000 homes. Now, the only reason the Nielsen's and Samba TV exist is because they have to have something to protect the investors. They have to have something to show the investors that what they're doing is profitable. Okay?
Across the national panel, our national homes are in for a maximum of 2 years, so it's constantly turning over. That's actually a really good thing, because we're always refreshing the panel, and it's always having the opportunity to reflect any changes in the demography of the U.S. Homes are compensated for participating in the Nielsen panel, and we think that's a fair bargain, because we are asking them to do things over and above what they would normally do. We measure everything that hits the TV glass, and we also measure how it gets there. So our clients are interested in if someone accessed content over the air, or through a cable box, or through a Roku or an Apple TV, or even through their smart TV. So our metering capabilities all connect to all those different scenarios. And the other thing that's...
See, they only survey 49,000 homes with the Nielsen rating. But if you have a Roku, if you have a television, a smart TV, all that, it's keeping track of every single person on the planet.
There is the people meter.
It is. I'm sure you don't sell the information to anybody else.
If our sample is breached, then our data is not usable for our clients. The TV and video consumption patterns have changed very dramatically in the U.S. What we do at Nielsen is reflect how people consume video in any fashion, on digital devices, phones, laptops, tablets, or even out of home.
So there you go. Okay, just a small sampling of what Nielsen does, right? And then there's Samba. Samba is the same thing, right? And they take stuff from the internet. They take Nielsen's directly for the United States, okay? But they take all these little bits and pieces. And these companies, again, they try to inflate their numbers because, well, big number means good. You can't admit that last year's thing was worse than this year's thing, right? And they start to spin it. Then the corporations that work with them, as we were talking about earlier, if Paramount buys WB, they own CNN, they own TNT. So anything that Paramount owns now, if they want to spin it, they own the news networks and they can spin it the way they want. And that's why Netflix is so bad for them, because they would own networks that they can't control. And if they can't control them, well, then that's a problem. Okay. So it doesn't matter if a person looks like they have no followers or anything else. When you have a graphic like this, okay, when you have a graphic like this and you put this out there and this gets spread and shared and whatnot, right? That's the problem, right? Like, I got this from this guy. No one shared it off him, but it goes down the rabbit hole where someone that has millions of followers sees this, puts that up, and so on and so forth. And they don't say anything. They just move on, right? And then someone's like, oh, no, it's the best halftime show ever. You're just a hater because you're racist. No, I read an article. I read the actual numbers given by the actual people who give numbers, not some random person on the internet, right? But even then, again, I have no pony in the race. I didn't give a shit, okay? I just thought it was interesting that people believe and they run with it and they tell people other things as well. So there you go. There's the Super Bowl information about the numbers there. What else we got going on here? We've got this story, which I thought was interesting because I've been playing Hightail. I know nothing about this game, okay? I know nothing about this article. We read articles for the first time on stream. I give you my thoughts and opinions off the article as we read it on stream, and we get your thoughts and opinions afterwards as well. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. All right, so Microsoft has revoked the DMCA takedown that was forced on indie Minecraft-like off Steam. Microsoft claimed that the indie game uses Minecraft content. Okay, now you look at this and you're like, yeah, it looks like Minecraft. Okay, update. Okay, so the other day they DMCA'd this thing and they didn't know why. DMCA launched against the how do you say that? Illuminary. Illuminary has also been withdrawn. Okay, it says it wrote on Discord, Microsoft has withdrawn the copyright claim with no action needed on my part. This is the best case scenario. I just woke up from a nap, so I'm still not sure of the details, but whatever happened, it worked. The Steam page in the game is also fully restored. I did not need to file a counterclaim, meaning there will also be no chance of a lawsuit. Original story was, in January, indie game developer announced that the Lo-Fi voxel sandbox game would be playable in Steam next Fest. An exciting milestone after a year of development. 2 weeks later, the game is no longer available on Steam as a result of the DMCA takedown by Microsoft, right? So they jumped the gun. It's probably automated. Took it down and said, you're copying one of our games. And you can't blame the company for that, but at the same time, it sucks for the guy who created the game, because you look at Hightail. Hightail's out. Obviously, it's not Minecraft, but it has lots of tendencies like Minecraft. People can go, oh, it might be a modded Minecraft, right? It says it infringes on the Minecraft's copyright. It says, I generally do not know what to do. So this guy, again, doesn't know what to do because he's just by himself making a game. The developer posted a portion of the email from Valve notifying them that the takedown, which states that the Judith Woodward, on behalf of Microsoft Corporation, alleges that Microsoft is copyright owner to content found that is Minecraft.net, included but not limited to gameplay assets without their authorized infringing the rights. Okay, it certainly does not look like a bit like Minecraft. Hold on a second. Let's take a look at this. I mean, to say that this doesn't look like Minecraft. And again, I'm not against things looking like other games. But to say that this doesn't look like Minecraft, obviously it 100% does look like Minecraft. And because there's AI out there that looks at stuff like this, it doesn't know the difference between if it's Minecraft or not Minecraft, because it's still learning. It's a child, remember? So it gets flagged. Just like every day on YouTube, if someone shows this clip of something else, not me on the clip, but shows this clip, and because I'm talking about it, YouTube says, hey, someone's using your content. And I go click on it, and I'm like, no, they're showing the trailer of the same thing that I showed, right? And this happens all the time. So it's an automated process that goes through, and it flags things, okay? Obviously, that does look like Minecraft. Another post in Discord suggests that the takedown may have resulted in an automated claiming service called Tracer.ai. So it's possible that the game just looked similar enough to falsely flag the machine learning algorithm. Yes, that's basically what it is. Okay, Valve will automatically take the game off Steam and DMCA because you got to look at what's happening here, okay? Microsoft has a multi-billion-dollar business. Minecraft is a major priority in this. They want to make sure that no one's copying their thing, sort of like what Nintendo does with a lot of their stuff, right? So they don't want to hire Bob to sit there and go, find everything on the internet that looks like Minecraft. So they put an automated thing, they type it in, they say, look for this. If you see this, let us know. So it sends an automatic thing out to people. As a content creator, like, oh my God, what do I do? It's like the world has ended for you because you're like, a big corporation's coming after me because they think I'm stealing their stuff. I'm not. I'm doing my own thing, right? So that gets automated. So now they're just covering their ass. Now Steam is also covering their ass. They're like, well, Microsoft, the multi-billion-dollar company that owns one of the biggest games in the world, is saying that this is a copyright infringement. Okay, we need to take this down. So Steam says, okay, Microsoft, thank you so much. We're going to take that down. Until something happens where, thank God for Twitter, thank God for where we can actually speak to somebody and say, because you can't get a hold of anybody, right? Know how long it would probably take them to get Microsoft's attention on, hey, I didn't DMCA, I didn't take anything from you guys, right? Would have never been seen. But because the person went on to social media and said, I don't know what to do, right? It kind of sped up the process, right? So much of it really does resemble Minecraft. It's always strange on how certain games get passed and others get stepped on. Hytale launched a great acclaim recently, not on Steam, however, and it also looks the heck a lot like Minecraft too. But as far as I know, Microsoft hasn't threatened illegal actions, and they shouldn't. They don't have a right to take anything from... You're allowed to make a game that looks like this. You are. Right? Just like... That's like Epic saying that we can sue anybody that uses the Unreal Engine because it all looks like the same type of game. You're letting people use an engine. Their engine, it's a voxel-based type of thing, right? So I saw this story the other day, and I was like, I think that'll get settled. I don't think why they would take it down. It doesn't make any sense. They're not as anal as Nintendo. Nintendo literally comes after you. Doesn't matter what you do. Nintendo's like, did you show a Mario video on your stream? We're taking you down because we think you're trying to talk bad about Mario. Microsoft, I'm assuming it's just AI. AI was like, hey, someone's trying to use your thing, clicked it, and it blew out of proportion faster. And you know what? It should because as a content creator, a small content creator, using someone else's content but not transforming it in any way, shape, or form, you get hit and flagged for a lot of different things. I'll get flagged for just showing that AI video, not from the AI person, probably from Disney, because they think that I was watching Star Wars, even though I wasn't watching Star Wars. I was watching a fan film of Star Wars, right? So that'll probably get hit later, and I have to probably remove that because it heard, Mark Hamill's voice and Adam Driver's voice, even though it was neither of their voices. So there you go. There's the Microsoft pulling down the DMCA of the small developer of the game. It was automatic. Well, we actually don't know just enough. If it was manual, it sounds like it was automatic. It sounds like it's automatic, but not sure. Crowd says, I think Nintendo had one. No one is allowed to stream Elden Ring on Switch 2. They're so horrible. Wait a minute. You can't stream Elden Ring on a Switch 2? Why? Is that real, Crowded? I can't play Elden Ring on the Switch on stream. Microsoft's marketing is dumb. I can't imagine how incompetent their legal team is or team are. Yeah. I get hit all the time from, like, think about this, right? As a YouTube content creator, I do a 2-hour, sometimes 3-hour show 4 days a week for 1 hour and 59 minutes and 30 seconds, I'm talking about anything else. But because they hear something or I showed something for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, they think they have the right to own my entire content. That's what happens. Right? It's ridiculous. Because it runs at 20 frames per second. Because fuck you, we're Nintendo, that's why. That's what some are saying. I'll take it down. They will take it down. But is it true, or is that Super Bowl numbers? Is that an actual thing that's happening, Crowded, or is that Super Bowl numbers? Like, is it actually happening that no one can stream it? Or someone did something else and they got taken down because of Nintendo? Tarna said, probably because they don't want to look bad. Elden Ring isn't exactly the best on the handheld. Yeah, but who are they to say that I can't stream that game using their system? Here's a test. Very simple. Are you ready? Play Elden Ring. Say you're playing it on the Switch too, but play it off of Xbox. See if it hits you. Because obviously anybody with with two eyes and a brain in between their ears could look at that and go, oh, that's not running on the Switch. It was in a poll. A lot of TOS say that users to say that you can't stream the games. Companies just allow it. Well, yeah, the whole industry, we've talked about this for 10 years. At any moment, any company can say, I don't want you streaming my game. They have every right to do that, by the way. Every single right. They don't do it because they get free advertisement. Jason says, Elden Ring isn't even out for Switch 2. How are people getting it? So are they streaming it just on the Switch? Ray says, Nintendo owns throwing balls on Sony owns Ginger patent. If you're a propagandist or Ginger, they'll have a copyright strike on you. Nah, Nintendo got those 10 frames per second detectors. Jesse Max says, if someone made with AI nodding that like the Force Unleashed game taken down by Disney. I have no idea what you're talking about, Jesse. Did someone make a AI generated Force Unleashed? Is that what you're saying? They definitely want to allow Duskbloods. I mean, do they not want gore or something on their system? I mean, I can understand that. Again, Nintendo's allowed to take down anyone's video if they don't want people to stream it. Any company that has the game can take down any game person that's streaming it. They don't like you. They don't have to tell you why. I don't want you streaming it. 1,000 other people can stream it. I don't like you streaming it. They can do that. They have every right to do that. Eclipse says, I can't remember what Square Enix game it was, but I remember there was also a game that you couldn't stream the ending because they let more people to watch it that way. Oh, that was, what game was that? Yeah, well, what game was that? There was a game where you were allowed to play, but you only could play up to a certain point and you couldn't play it anymore. Was that Final Fantasy 16? You could play it up to a certain part, but then you had to stop. You couldn't stream it past that spot. No, it was a very specific game. It was a very specific game. I forget which one it was. We talked about this next story I want to talk about. We talked about this, was it last week? I bring it up so often. We compare it to what Arc Raiders, right? I actually talked about it about 4 months ago, 3-4 months ago, talking about how Bethesda wanted Fallout 76 to be a PvP game. But then it turned into a PvE game, right? If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you have to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Just read the article. I'll give you my thoughts and opinions. Let me get your thoughts and opinions from chat as well. Turner says, what the hell are the companies doing with these days? I don't know. Jesse Max says, no, 30. I mean, if someone made a game with AI and it's nothing, it's noting that it looks like Force Unleashed, they allow it to take down. 100% they are. 100%. Especially if they're trying to sell it or anything like that. They don't have any reason. If you are copying a game, if you are just playing their game and they don't want you to play it, they can just pull it. They won't do it because of the masses. All right. So Fallout 76 devs were surprised the community turned out to be so friendly. It's post-apocalyptic. It's Fallout that they're also going to all want to kill one another is completely opposite. So maybe war does change sometimes. So if you guys, like I said, like what I do, we just read the stories, give you my thoughts and opinions on it. Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. All right. So the funny thing about Arc Raiders is how friendly it is. When is this article written? 14 hours ago. I literally talked about this 4 months ago. 4 months ago, I talked about the comparisons of Arc Raiders to Fallout 76. Okay. The mode fairly reliable, violent, and also occasionally getting popped by people like Fraser. Okay. It says, but in solos mode, most players are unexpectedly quite cooperative. It's a little weird given that the nature of video games developer Embark Studios is perhaps a little surprised by it in a good way. Art director Robert Samlin said in December that they were also certainly hoping that it would also see cooperation happen. And I think to the extent what happens at launch, it's seeing how people treat each other solely in a heartwarming is also really uplifting to see. Embark isn't the only studio whose players have also been something unpredictable with the world that they're given. In any interview with the game business, Fallout 76 creative director John Rush said Bethesda was surprised that players turned out to be a lot friendlier than developers assumed they'd be, right? Bethesda made Fallout 76 and wanted people to just murder each other in that BR mode that they had. And they said no. No, the population was like, no, I want to enjoy Fallout with my fellow, right? So they had like the slap system where like if I shot you, then you had to shoot me and then we can shoot each other. It was like I smacked you okayed it and you smacked me back. And once we smacked each other, then it was all on. Okay. It was a broke mechanic and it was shitty and people didn't like it. And they said, well, we want to join forces. Okay. So before it released the game, it was also like the post-apocalyptic. It's Fallout. We're going all in to kill one another, Rush said. It's a complete opposite. The complete opposite has been great to see that. I never experienced a community that great at Bethesda Game Studios community. It said that the friendliest came to the fore recently to respond to an influx of new Fallout 6 players drawn in by the game of Amazon's hit TV series. Instead of preying on the fresh meat as you expect, hardened post-nuclear survivors to do in Wasteland, veterans step up and help newbies get off to a good start. Oh, as much as you guys, and I'm not saying you guys specifically, chat, as much as people want to shit on Fallout 76 for being a broke, buggy, unfinished game when it launched, pretty much shitting on everybody because they didn't want Fallout 76, they wanted the next Fallout game, and they were disappointed with all that. As much people give shit to Bethesda for whatever games they make and Todd Howard and all the stuff, the Fallout 76 community is probably one of the best communities in any game. I'll be honest with you. They are super nice, super helpful, okay? People will explain shit to you if you've been gone for a long time. It's weird, man. It's weird because you don't think, especially if you come from certain other games where you're getting shit on and stuff, you go to this game, and again, the setting is a post-apocalyptic area. You walk in, people are like, hey, man, you need some stuff? They'll drop you stuff. I remember not playing for a while, going in, and people talking about it. And when I walked in, someone dropped me a bunch of stuff. I said, no, I don't want that. Because I knew if they gave it to me, it would diminish my experience. I wanted to earn that stuff. They were dropping like big weapons, rare weapons. I was like, no, thank you. I appreciate it. But I don't want to, right? So it says The friendly came for the four. We already heard that part, right? It's a very good start. We're also always making small adjustments to the game here and there and making it a bit easier for new players to hop in and make it easier for players that are also coming back after a little while, Rush said. He says, but honestly, I say a lot of the onboarding was done by a wonderful community who recognizes all of these fresh vault dwellers emerging from Fallout 76 and set up camps outside, giving them free stuff and showing them things to look at I built. So it was very much a concentrated effort between us and our community, welcoming an influx of brand new players and returning players. That's another thing, right? What they just said. So they knew that the influx of people would come in. So people moved their houses closer to the vault. So when people come out of the vault, they're like, oh, what the fuck is this? Right? See what you can build, see what you can get. It's very strange, right? It's a very fun game. But again, rough start when it came out. As I compare that to the many years ago onboarding a different multiplayer survival game, Rust, which consisted of being held at gunpoint along with other guys by 3 heavily armed players who ordered us to strip naked, drop all our stuff, and none of it which had any use for it. After which they took it all anyway, and then shot the other guy because he was lipping off too much. And hey, it's that kind of fun. It's an own preserved way. But honestly, I'll take the friendly community any day. And that's the point, right? They thought you were going into Rust. When they made Fallout 76, they thought they were making Rust in the Fallout universe, and what they got was they got Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which is weird. And I've talked about this and said that I think Arc Raiders is going to have something along the same way. Now, last night, yesterday afternoon, after I got off stream, I went to go play 2 matches inside of Arc Raiders. I did the event. There's no event to actually go to. You just go to a map. Soon as I entered the map, okay, I went in with a free loadout, okay, solo, jumped into Arc Raiders, walked 10 feet, okay, guy comes around the corner, says, don't shoot, not in a microphone, but in-game. I didn't say anything. I was saying stuff, but my mic was muted because I forgot how to activate the microphone inside the game. So then he got on the mic and said, are you friendly? Are you friendly? I said, yeah, I'm friendly. He's like, cool. Are you doing the mission where you're just killing arcs? I said, yeah, I am. He's like, great. Do you want to team up? I said, yeah, let's go. So then we got together and then we started killing arcs or whatever. Maybe a minute later, we found a third. A third came up and said, hey guys, just trying to kill the arc. I was like, all right, cool. So then 3 of us were killing arc. And then 4 of us were killing arc. And then 5 of us were killing arc. And then 7 of us were killing arc. And there was a group of us just running around, just taking shots at all of these things, taking out the big, the leaper, right? The bat, right? We're the Rocketeer. We're taking out everybody because everyone is working together to make the community happen right now. Now, people are like, well, that's stupid. Why do you want to do that? I want to kill you to get your stuff. Cool, you could do that. You could still do that. If you're a person, right? And I think Water Bear posted something inside here. I think in the general chat earlier today. Yeah, right here. Right. He says, he is a rat. Shared watch event doesn't prevent PvP in any way. PvE players feel let down as the game mechanics remain the same. Yeah, it's the same. But we have 7 guys, right? Actually, 8 guys. 8 guys, and if one turns on us, guess what's going to happen? One might die, but the other guys are all going to team up on him because that's what it is. But the fact that in the back of your head, that at any moment they could turn on you is exciting for some people. This is why I think the aggression-based matchmaking in Arc Raiders is good. Because, yes, for majority of the time, you might not get someone to kill you. And you might be able to do your stuff. But at some point, that person's going to want to get out of that and get back into the cycle of PvP. So they're going to have to kill. So there's this range of mid-tier guys or mid-level, whatever server you want to be in, the sus server, as they said earlier, okay, that people want to get back to the PvP. But what's happening, what happened to Fallout 76 8 years ago is going to happen to Arc Raiders again. Okay? Things repeat. There's going to be a time where people just want to hang out. They just want to do the stuff. And there's going to be a point where Arc Raider says we're going to put a PvE in the game. And if people want to jump into the PvE game mode, they'll jump in the PvE game mode. And if they want to go back into the PvP game mode, then they'll go back into the PvP game mode. But what you're going to see is a lot of people are going to bitch about it, because the people that bitch about people going to PvE are people that want to shit on the people that don't ever want to experience PvP. They don't want to experience PvP. They just want to play the game. And yes, the game is part of PvP, but they don't want to be killed, right? So the people, PvE will never bitch that they just want to go play the game. PvPers are going to shit on the people that want to just go play their own thing because they don't want to be low man on the totem pole. I said this 4 months ago. There's the PvPers. There's the PvPers that want to shit on the lower end guys but don't want to fight the upper end guys, right? They want to take advantage of that. And these guys don't want to be the low man on the totem pole. So the PvEers are the low man on the totem pole, okay? So if the PvEers leave the PvP section to go in the PvE area, then these guys are now the lower end guys that they want to shit on people, but they don't want to be shit on. Do you know what I'm saying? You want to call them the tryhards or whatnot, because there's always going to be someone better than you, right? There's going to be people that dominate. There's going to be the people somewhere in the middle that need these people to feel like their time is being respected. So I do see a similarity here. I do see that Arc Raiders, maybe not next week, maybe not 2 months from now, but sometime within this year, Arc Raiders will add a PvE, dedicated PvE game mode, because the community is asking for it. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of our videos. Thanks for watching. All right. Rogue says, my first experience was I died to something about 10 minutes, and someone also ran over, rezzed me without even asking. It was a huge surprise. That moment right there is fun, right? And that's awesome experience. But if I was in the PvE, you wouldn't have to ask. That's the difference. Let's see. Travis says, oh, never what I sent you 30 is way too long. Okay. Rogue says, if you would just give me the option to flag or unflag for PvE, that would be also good for me. I mean, you wouldn't have to lock that in before you go in, but you also would be okay. I don't think you have to lock it in, though. Because if you had to lock it in before, right, or switch it, like you were going around them, you put the flag up and you don't want to engage, all they have to do is pick the thing, like the night raid or the event that's going on or whatever it is. Just click it. It's just a PvE. You're just going up against the Arc, right? If you just want to go up against the Arc, let people go up against the Arc. It doesn't hurt because there's only 16 people or 18 people, whatever it is on the map. Do you know what I mean? And that's constantly switching in the first 10 minutes because people die, then people get thrown in. But there's still that moment of, right, you're getting chucked in. I think if you're in duos, if you're in trios, you're more aggressive. The weird part about Arc Raiders, it kind of filters itself. It just filters itself, unless you're a solo guy. If you're a solo guy and you go into solos, majority of the people are going to be friendly. So you're going to kill people that don't really want to fight. But the person that wants PvP probably should go into a PvP solo type of thing. That way you know when you see somebody. But here's the thing. If you just make it PvP, it's almost like what's the new board? I forget the new board that they put in about a month ago, 2 months ago, whatever. The interior one. Whatever the name of it is, right? Soon as you showed up there, you knew you were getting killed, right? You knew soon as you went into there, Stellamontis, that's it, right? Soon as you go to Stellamontis, okay, you're going PvP. And everyone knew that, right? So if you have just PvP, there is that, you don't even have that friendship anymore. It's just shoot on sight. Where PvE gives you that choice of, are they going to shoot me? Are they going to not shoot me? Eclipse says, I think that they're also doing this the best way to do it. Make an event that makes people come back. I mean, look how many people are still playing the game. It's crazy. Did you kill the queen or no? In Arc Raiders? No, I have not killed the queen. Krebsy says, the big aspect of an extraction shooter is the atmosphere in the sense that it's always being on the edge, even if the aggression-based system. There's still also that thought that someone could turn. Sure, but at the same time, I think they could. I don't think Arc Raiders is a black or white PvE type of thing. I think they can balance it, and I think they could have a thing where, because as the match goes on, more Arc fall down on the ground, right? So if you were doing PvE, they can wrap that up. They can ramp that up. So if you're in a PvE server, instead of, where it slowly kicks in, they just add more Arc to overwhelm you, right? So you have to work in this teamwork type of thing to try to survive. Make it a completely different experience where it's just a couple here. No, there's a shit ton of Arc around the map. And as time ticks down, the longer you stay on the map, the more, which already happens, you turn that dial up. You have way more Arc on the map and make it where people have to work together. That's turning into the skid. The only pure PvE thing should be like a raid. But the PvE mode that tells you it's just Arcs won't be good for the game. Sure it would. 100% would be good for the game. Because even if it's a small population, let's say, what is there, 400,000 people still playing the game? Let me see. All right. So you have 166,000 right now, 248,000 in the last 24 hours. Okay. You're starting to see a little drop off here. Games coming out, people are playing different things. Okay. Let's say you get 50,000 people of the Steam, right? 248,000 people in 24-hour peak. Let's say you get 50,000 people that just want to play PvE. Are you saying the other 150,000 people, that's going to ruin their experience? How? If 50,000 people, the smaller portion, want to go play PvE to go get the queen killed or collect the stuff and just hang out with their friends, how is that going to ruin the other 150 to 200,000 people that are playing the game when there's only 18 people in a match? We're not talking about 1,000-man servers here, right? We're talking about 16 to 18 people coming into a match and playing the game how they want to play. I guarantee you that would increase the numbers because now people would come back and play the game and go, oh, I can just play PvE. It's not going to make the worse for anybody. It would make it better for the people that want to play. You would have more people come in and play PvE. Companies want your time in the game. The longer you spend inside the game, the more opportunity you're going to spend money in the store. Well, if you don't put the PvE in the game, well, those people just leave. And those people are not going to buy anything. And if they don't buy anything, well, now you just lost 50,000 people that would have bought a microtransaction for $10. Roic says, isn't that what Helldivers does? The more things you do, you get done, the mobs spawn faster and more of them. Their system's a little different, right? Because you can actually, it's like a director. People are just dropping stuff in. I don't know if it's a real human or some sort of AI program. Because sometimes you're on maps and it's like super slow. If you're very methodical on how you take out things, right? Other times it just bombards shit on you and overwhelms you. Helldivers does a good job of making the wave go up and down, right? There's like lulls and there's highs and then there's lows. Same thing what's happening right now with when we played Space Marine. Space Marine 2 has been out for 14 months, 15 months. We played it last week, right? There's times you walk around and there's nothing going on, and then all of a sudden it crescendos, and then you get attacked from all angles, and then it dips back down, and then it goes back up. That's what Helldivers does. You would also get a people tester where on the fence because PvP be able to just do PvE might sway them to pick it up 100%. Just because they add PvE mode doesn't mean that they'll also remove PvP mode. Yeah, PvP mode's still there. And if the PvPers leave to go play PvE, then doesn't that mean that you're playing for the? Doesn't that mean you're playing to what the community wants? You see what I'm saying? PvPers that want PvP are going to play PvP. PvEers that want to play the game, but they don't really want to play PvP. They want to kill the Ark, kill the Queen, do all of this stuff. If you put a PvE mode, they're going to play the game. These people still want to kill each other. These people don't want to kill each other. These people could still role play and do all the stuff if they want to kill or not kill or whatever. But what happens is it becomes mostly killing, and these people don't want to be killed. They want to enjoy their time. Why is there even a discussion about PvP versus PvE in these games? What is the issue with having options? Who does it hurt? It doesn't hurt anybody. That's what I'm saying, Sarge. Like, they should have a PvE mode. The fact that PvPers are so dependent on the people that don't want to play PvP is mind-blowing to me. It really is. Because the people that don't want to play PvP are forced to play PvP, and they don't want to play. They don't even have to do that, Jay. They don't even have to do a Dark Zone type of thing. Right now, the way the game is set up, do you play Arc Raiders? Right? I'm asking because I don't know. In the map, before you even jump in, you can pick the night raid, you can pick the daytime, you can pick the event that's happening thematically, whatever's happening in the 5 locations, right? You can pick what you want. So, and it only holds, I think, 18, maybe 24 people. I forget what it is, right? So if you pick night raid, you know that you're picking nighttime, PvP, higher end orcs are coming out, whatnot. You know going in. Okay, great. So now you're in that match. All they have to do is just go PvE. It's just a game mode that you pick on. It's not ruining anybody because the people are still going to go in the PvP, and it's not like they're going to be like, well, I didn't see anybody in there. Well, maybe the people didn't want to play PvP then. They wanted to play PvE. How would that ruin the game? It wouldn't ruin the game. For the developers, it's not ruining the game. It means people are playing the game. Doesn't hurt anyone except they try hard. It hurts the devs' time. Hurts the devs' time. How? How does it hurt the devs' time? All they have to do is toggle a switch that says there's no PvP. It's the exact same fucking thing. There's no difference. You take what they've done for the night raid, where there's more Arc, and you just shut off PvP. Whew. That's a lot. That's a lot of work there. What are they going to do? Until they add more, let them do the PvP, and I will not touch it. Speaking of tryhards, I got the heavy to level 20, and the last 5 probably going to take another week. I think I'm level 9, 8 or 9. A player who knows it's just PvE doesn't play the same when the PvP could happen. As I said, the atmosphere is a big part of the extraction shooter. Correct, Krebsy. But the people that want to play PvP are still playing PvP. The people that don't want to play PvP are just in their own... It's not a massive MMO. These are a small amount of people inside the actual thing. Let me ask you this. If I'm playing a PvP... and the first 10 minutes I kill the people and nobody else comes in after, I think it was 17 minutes, right? Nobody else comes in at 17 minutes. I drop in the map. I'm looking for PvP, but all the people on the map that got killed, that killed off, and no one else came in after the 17-minute mark. And now I don't see anybody else on the map because either they're far away from me or they've already extracted. What's the difference? If I don't see anybody and I'm just running around by myself in a PvP map, potentially, am I hurting somebody? No, I'm just playing the game, right? I don't know you're there. You don't know I'm there. So now let's reverse reverse it. Now we're playing a PvE mode. I jump in. I'm running around killing arcs. I don't have to worry about anyone killing me, right? I'm just running around doing the same thing I did before. I was just lucky I didn't see anybody. Because at that mark, everyone's either extracted or people are already full and they're leaving. There's no difference. You're still playing the game. No, I wouldn't play an extraction game. It would cure disease. Why wouldn't you play an extraction game? Because PvP, right? Rogue says it would also give people a chance to learn the maps and mechanics and also feel comfortable with it. Way want to try their hands in PvP. I said the same thing with Sea of Thieves, and they put a safer seas in. They're going to do the exact same thing with Arc Raiders. I will be right on this. They will add a PvE. Because it doesn't matter what you want as a PvP player. It doesn't matter what you want as a PvE player. What matters to the company is keep as many people playing your game as possible. The longer you're inside the game, the better opportunity it is for you to pay for a microtransaction. You bought the game for $40. They dropped it. Great. They made the $40 after you, but they need to make $60 after you. Instead of calling it PvP, they can call it Arc Raiders mode, PvE mode. People don't go full on PvP. One of the groups is going to get butthurt, the PvPers. Other groups don't goes PvEers more than PvP. Good point, Titan. If they would need to balance PvP and PvE separately. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't need to do anything but shut off PvP. The night raids have more arcs on the map. All they have to do is shut off PvP. A button. Done. No balancing. They don't need any balancing. It's an extraction shooter. You aren't supposed to be comfortable. Again, you're looking at it. I'm looking at it from a business standpoint. If I'm Arc Raiders 8 months from now, and I'm like, oh, our player base is dropping. What do we need to do? Well, from all the surveys that we sent out, because every time we're done doing a match, they ask you, how did you like your PvP? How did you like your PvE? How did you like the arc? They still do this. Well, guess what? Their survey says that people want PvE. We're losing players. How do we change that? Well, last quarter, we only sold this many microtransactions because the people that were playing were more PvEers, and they left. So we need to fix that. I would say reclining his sweats with drink helmet on pretty comfortable for a PvP game. I don't trust any cheats enough to play PvP games anymore. Gotcha. Sea of Thieves added a safer seas. Why? Because people just wanted to play with their kids. They didn't want to get ganked by Summit or anybody else that's out there, right? They're playing the game. Cool. They get to play the game that they want to play. When I'm playing with my son in Sea of Thieves, we were getting murdered left and right. We couldn't even enjoy the game. I guess we were enjoying the game because the game is we were supposed to get murdered. But when I'm playing against the PvE and the safer seas, last time we played about a week and a half ago, we got this treasure on our boat, and all of a sudden a ship came next to us. We had to fight the ship. Then we had to fight the shark. And then we had to fight the boss. And then we had to fight this other thing, right? The danger was still there. The danger was still there. I didn't need a guy jumping on my ship, murdering me because he's playing at 120 frames per second, no-scoping me as he spins his mouse button around, when all I want to do is grab the one golden chest to bring back to base. If I choose to play past the safer seas after level 40 or whatever it is, then I can do that because now I want to become pirate captain because I want to do other stuff. Right. It was fun. Nah, Sarge. Nah, it's a PvP game. You're not allowed to have fun in a non-PvP section of the game. That's the other thing that some people don't want to play PvP because they don't know anyone anymore if someone is good or if they're also using cheats to kill you from the other side of the map. Sure. I think what it comes down to, Altern, is just that I have a half hour of my time and I want my time respected. That's it. And I know someone's going to be like, well, then don't play an extraction. Well, I'll tell you what. Fallout 76 made a game that was supposed to be PvP, but then the community switched it to PvE because that is what the community went towards. I don't remember anyone saying, well, it's a PvP fucking game. No. People said that the game is broke, buggy, and unfinished, and they left it alone, and they didn't care that people turned it into a PvE game. Right? It doesn't hurt Arc Raiders if they make a PvE game mode. It doesn't. You guys are lying to yourself. It's not 1,000 people on a server. It's not massive armies fighting each other. It's literally 16, 18 people on a map running around And sometimes you see people and sometimes you don't. Sometimes I play, I see absolutely nobody. Other times I play, I run in and get shot in 5 seconds. Travis says, speaking of Sea of Thieves, is that crossplay? I believe so. All right, let's see what's happening on Twitter. Arc Raiders is too far gone for PvE event work properly. All right, well, here we go. Insider Gamer. Speaking of Arc Raiders, let's see what this has to say. Arc Raiders is too far gone for a PvE event to work properly. Too far gone. I'm going to put a tab in this, okay? I'm going to put a tab in this, a little pin in it, okay? Because I'm going to come back summertime. We'll come back summertime, and I guarantee you I'm going to bring up this article that says they're too far gone for PvE event because they're going to be adding in a PvE mode. I'm going to put a pin in it. I'm going to put a pin, boop. We're going to put a pin in it. Okay. Recently, Arc Raiders received a sizable update that introduced a new PvE-focused event named Shared Watch. A point of Shared Watch is working together with other Raiders to take down the Arc threats, and by doing so, they unlock a string of rewards, including a new skin, some cosmetics, and some Raider tokens. The trick is, if you get no progress points, known as merits, or no progress points known as merits for the event for killing or maiming other players, stripping focus away from the game's PvP loop. It's ambitious, the Embark Studios part, but the problem is that Arc Raiders feels way too far gone to be proving ground for PvE-led event, and players are quickly discovering that. Shared Watch gives the incentive for working as a team, neither with friends nor with strangers, to take down the Arc enemies. For every enemy you damage or destroy or assist in destroying, you earn merits and push along with the reward path, and the path culminates in a nice new helmet, a rooster, scrapping it, but also other items to secure along the way. However, Shared Watch also pushes PvE agenda a little further, attempting to encourage users to work together and stop slinging the lead as one another of 5 minutes. Last night, I hopped into Arc Raiders with a friend to participate in Shared Watch, and also 10 Raiders later, we not had a single successful extraction. We're prioritizing trials, almost all of which are geared this week around fighting Arc enemies and trying to crack through that reward path. On every single occasion, we were met with an incoming fire from other Raiders, despite rarely opening fire first. Twice, we were pushed to extraction and shot it back while also trying to get out of the map. On another raid, we fought to take down a Leaper for our trial, learning that the duo sat in the bushes waiting for us to secure the kill so they could subsequently laser us to death. This is the go-to standard for Arc Raiders now. There are video guides online geared towards guaranteed entry to PvE-focused lobbies, which also involves shooting no human enemies for around 10 raids. But this is also a loose concept at best, like the game's loot model. Securing a PvE-focused raid is based on RNG, and it depends entirely on who is in your match with. He says, I've had some wholesome interactions. Sure, last week I was downed by a popped-on Stellamontis, don't ask. And out of nowhere, a German fellow ran over by me and aided me with the defib before promptly disappearing again after wishing me good luck. These interactions have also fast become exceptional, while the others on-site gunfights are also de facto standard in this game. For a PvE-focused event to work in Arc Raiders, and I mean truly work, with 0% failure rate, Embark Studios has to build servers, even temporary ones, that have Raider damage switched off. Oh my God. They have to rework the entire game. Have to work the entire game over. Okay, by that I mean you cannot damage from another Raider, period, on these servers. Only Arcs will be threat. To capitalize on that, keeping things balanced, they'd also be willing to see Embark Studios increase the risk from Arc on the servers. Make them tougher, more more aggressive, whatever it takes. But the balance is, if you can't be gunned down by Arc enemies. Did this guy just watch one of this article? February 11th. What time was this posted? 1 hour ago. Amazing. It's like we're twins. Said the exact same thing. Okay, this is to go standard Arc Raiders now. I already read that part. Okay. Embark Studios has said time and time again that PvE doesn't work, despite the game's original operating model being geared towards just that. Yeah, the entire game was built off PvE. and then they sprinkled PvP into it. But it's limited time event on map conditions or even specific maps built only for PvE. I think the entire audience would feel validated and well served. What do you think? Do you think Raiders is a PvE mode? Let us know your thoughts. Yes, it's going to get it. It's going to get it. It's going to get it because money. You guys understand that, right? Money. I paid $40. Cool. They got your money there. But they're putting cosmetics in the store that no one's buying because they don't want to put the time in because they're not getting the things that they want. And they just want a PvE mode. So what's going to happen, and again, I'm telling you right now, I will be right. They will put a PvE mode in this game. Let's see. Western devs are such babies. I'm right on this. They add a PvE, they will have a short-term game and cost altering the atmosphere of the game and spawn a lot more problems for the devs. How would that cause more problems, Krebsy? The toggle of PvP to off. How would that cause more problems for balancing and stuff? It wouldn't. The devs would have to do absolutely nothing. All they would have to do is balance the stuff for PvP, which they're already doing. They have to do absolutely nothing besides add more people, more arcs on the maps, which night raids already do. So if you make a PvE mode, you just make more arc on there, which they already do. It's already in the game. They're more active at night on the night raids. Okay? They do more damage. There's more of them. That's it. All you have to do is shut that off. Yes, but then you have to make sure everyone can loot the arc. It will have to be different. Why would it have to be different? They can literally just make it where you pop in, you get it. You can't kill it. So if you work together, they just add more parts. That's it. There's nothing wrong about this. PvEers would play PvE. More money for Arc Raiders. PvP would play PvP. More money for Arc Raiders. You would still have the player base, but they would be in their own divisions. Because people will get exhausted by PvP. PvE is more chilled. I don't know, like, how many times, I'm not saying to you, Titan, right? How many people are getting older and have less time to play stuff? Right? And it's easy for someone to say, well, then just don't play those games. Cool. You don't tell me how to spend my money. You don't tell me what games I play or what movies I watch. Okay? When I get older, this goes for everybody, your time is more valuable. You don't realize that now if you're young, but your time is more valuable. So when you work 40, 50, 60-hour weeks, you come home and you want to play a game, regardless if you play that game for 1 hour or if you play it for 10 hours, you want it to feel like your time is being respected. So if I go to Arc Raiders because I like Arc Raiders and I want to play, and I'm like, man, it'd be really nice if they had a PvE mode. Everyone's like, fuck your PvE mode. It's a PvP game. Cool. Right? But then the developers say, we put a PvE mode in. Everyone's like, the game's ruined. No, the developers are making the game towards the people that are asking for what it is. Again, Fallout 76 was a PvP game. It is now a cooperative PvE game. 30 million people play that game. Let's see what else is going on here on Twitter. Need to design the instance looting? No, they can actually make it where it's less people on the PvE map. So instead of having 18 people on the map, they can just make a limit of, let's say, 10. Right? And then instead of having, because I think there's 6 cores or something like that. If you kill the queen or whatever it is, I think someone has actually 12 or whatever it is, right? So now you can 1 per person if everyone's getting something. So you feel vindicated. You feel like your time is being respected. Krebsy says action movies are most popular. Why don't they make Oppenheimer into an action movie? They would attract more people. They do it. That's a terrible fucking example. That is a terrible fucking example. You're comparing a game that you play to a movie you watch and sit for 2 hours. That is a terrible example. Try again. You ever notice how PvE mode added more players, but PvP added PvE game? Hardly anyone plays it. Wonder why that is. They don't do, no, because it's a different genre of a thing, and you're already sitting there for 2 hours. Well, let me tell you something. If you watch 2 hours of Hallmark movies, and you watch 4 hours of Hallmark movies, and you watch 5 hours of and 6 and 8, you kind of get tired of the Hallmark movies. Then you want an action movie. Well, when you're playing a PvP game, you're getting shot in the face over and over and over and over and over, and you don't have enough materials because you keep losing it over and over and over and over. Guess what happens? You stop playing the game. Altern says, well, I want to see how many people want PvE on Extraction. See the numbers of Escape from Duck Off. Oh, is that let me see how many people are playing that. What is it? Escape? $301,000 people. 301,000 people bought that game. Actually, 5 million people bought that game. And it's all just PvE. 14,000 people playing it now. Right? No, Krebsy. People even said, you still get shot in the face regardless. Right? Because there's always going to be a guy that's trying to leave the PvE mode to get back in the PvP mode. So there's always potential of getting shot in the face. Learn to become Batman and hide in the shadows. Some guy did that. I remember seeing a clip. He was up on the rafters in I think it was the space map, and there was a group below him, and he threw smoke grenades. He's like, I am the man in the night. Did you guys see this clip? And then someone's like, he's up on the rafters, and they just shot him. Yeah, it was so good. If Arc Raiders added a PvE game mode, they add 9 player. They add 9 players, and they look like more of the same thing as Marvel Avengers did. Always potential isn't the same as what you said. You're getting a shot over and over. The difference, again, from a player, I want my time respected. And from the business, they want to make the most money. Right now, it's the hottest thing. Right now, people are playing the game because it's still a thing. But it's slowly going to diminish because people are like, my time's not respected. I try to get my light bulbs. I can't get my light bulbs. So I'm just done. I'm gonna go play something else. They want people to play their game. They will add a PvE mode. I'm so sure I'll accept apologies when they do. A dedicated PvE mode. I'll accept apologies when they do. Doesn't matter if it's 6 months from now. Doesn't matter if it's a year from now. Doesn't matter if it's 2 years from now. Arc Raiders will add a PvE only game mode. And I will accept apologies then. Altern says, you still looking for the light bulbs, 30? I stopped caring. I'm not doing the expeditions anyway, so I don't give a shit. But yeah, I still haven't completed the light bulbs. Matter of fact, I found a light bulb yesterday, and I threw it on the ground in protest. I was like, fuck your light bulb. It won't kill the atmosphere, Krebsy, because the people that want PvE don't want that atmosphere. So you say it'll kill the atmosphere. It's not going to kill any atmosphere because the people that want to play PvE don't want the fucking atmosphere. That's it. The people that play PvP can have that atmosphere. The people that want PvE do not want that atmosphere. It's that simple. How are they gonna wreck the atmosphere if people don't even want the atmosphere? That's a big fucking bear. Is that real? Holy Christ, is that real? I don't know if this is real. This fucking bear is gigantic, dude. Holy Christ. 747 is one of the largest and most dominated bears found near Brooks Falls. Estimated weight over 1,400 pounds due to his size. ID number is often known as Bear Force 1. Jesus Christ, dude. Look at his face. His face brings you in. And then he murders you. Like you're a PV player in Arc Raiders. Comes in and just murders your face. What else is going on? Let's see what else. God damn, this bear is gigantic. Titan says AI is killing the atmosphere. Yeah, you don't even know if it's real anymore. That's right. I don't want to see him in person, so. Oh, did you guys see that IGN? IGN gave High Guard a 7. Surprise, surprise. I mean, you don't know if that picture was taken recently. Just could have been from like last year or whatever. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't see anything else exciting. All right. We'll be back this evening, 8 p.m. Eastern, over on 30 and Still Gaming. We're playing more of the Space Marines 2 campaign with Sarge and whoever else comes in, if it's Travis or if it's Water Bear or whoever. We'll be live at 8 p.m. Eastern. We appreciate you very much. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. You can also support us by look at the merch shop down below. You can also go to a Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere else, Amazon Music. If you want to listen to the music, stream it, download it, or whatnot. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Yo, 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 yo. To be wars, now it's open doors. Gamers everywhere, no matter the store. Multi-platform rise, let's go. Cross-play, cross-life, everybody getting hype. Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC in sight. No more fences, we're breaking the chains. Gamers worldwide all share the same game. Cross-play, cross-life, everybody getting hype. Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC in sight. No more fences, we're breaking the chains. Gamers worldwide all share the same game. Remember the times when the console wars burned? Had to pick a side, bridges never got turned. Exclusive drops kept us stuck in the fight. Now they shipping everywhere and it feeling right. Halo hit Steam, Kratos left home. Sony cross seas, now we standing on Chrome. Call of Duty don't care where you log in, whether blue, green, red, everybody's locked in. Back then, bragging like my box the best. Now it's yo, what you playing on? That's the real flex. Squads don't split, we unite for the win. Whether PC frames or a pad in your hand. Nintendo still holding Mario tight, but even rumors say Zelda might take flight. From couch to the cloud, from a disc to a stream. Gaming's for us all, that's the multiplied dream. Cross-play, cross-life, everybody getting hype. Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC in sight. No more fences, we're breaking the chains. Gamers worldwide all share the same game. Cross-play, cross-life, everybody getting hype. Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC in sight. sight. No more fences, we're breaking the chains. Gamers worldwide all share the same game. Game Pass rolling, making deals on the low. Sony dropping ports, watch the fan base grow. Even the Switch getting big boy drops. Monster Hunter Fortnite can't make it stop. Epic and Steam, once fighting for the crown. Now it's like, yo, let the players get down. Cloud stream service you can play on a phone. Doesn't matter where, you ain't playing alone. From Tekken to FIFA, from Destiny raids, everybody linking up, no matter the shade. Fanboys crying, but the world too loud. Gamers stand tall, multi-platform and proud. Imagine back then if they saw this day. Master Chief on PlayStation, Kratos on Game Pass Play. Sonic and Mario shook hands long ago. Now it's every IP learning how to grow. So no more division, the culture's too wide. We gaming together, controllers collide. This is the future, man, it ain't pretend. Every platform, every player gaming won't end. Cross-play, cross-life, everybody getting hype. Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC, and Sight.